Winning the relegation match is pretty much everything.
We still have a chance to get into the LCS.
I gave up my family and my friends at home, my education for this.
The last split, we didn't really get to prove ourselves. We definitely want to come back as a better team.
Our previous chance, we kind of got overconfident.
The performance that we had against Renegades, I feel like they did play pretty good, but it was mostly us making mistakes.
Post losing against Renegades was actually a surprise because they were the favorites.
The enemy didn't look good in the LCS. I think we'll beat them. They don't look that strong.
Everything that we've been working towards is on the line.
To lose it now would be really disheartening.
We've been working really hard up until this point.
We're really ready to be back on stage.
Welcome to the North American Spring Promotion Tournament. Big series coming your way today. Here you're seeing Enemy heading into the studio just a short time ago. They're going up against Team Coast, who are out to reclaim their spot in the LCS. And of course, Team Imagine is already in the building, and they'll be taking on Teammate a little later in the day. Hello, everyone. I'm James Dash Patterson. Joining me on the desk for our first series are Joshua Jat-Leesman and reigning promo tournament MVP, Kiwi Kid.
Yeah,
so,
man.
sir, it's good to have you back.
Pulverize. Let's do it.
Are you is it a little bittersweet, though, the fact that today you're going to have to give up that MVP status to somebody else?
Yeah, you know, as much as I like the only award I've won in like the past 3 years, I feel fine giving it up. I'm ready to watch some good old promotion series tournaments.
All right, well, there are 2 spots up for grabs in the North American LCS, and today 4 teams will step onto the Rift to fight for them. So let's check out the schedule to see what we've got cooking up today. First up, it's 9th place Enemy eSports taking on the runner-up from the Challenger Series, Team Coast. After that, best of 5 teammate will saddle up on stage to battle Team Imagine. The winners of each series will join LCS newcomers Renegades in the upcoming NALCS Spring Split. Kiwi, do either of these teams, these new teams, look like they're going to make it to the LCS this following split?
Definitely they both have a chance because, you know, it's still technically a team versus team kind of game. But I feel like Coast has definitely a bigger chance than Imagine. Team 8 was looking a little shaky near the end of the split, but I still think they're a pretty solid team. But Coast and Enemy, they're a lot more equal from where we last saw them play. And Coast, they still had to work through the through Renegades and through, like, you know, still the Challenger Series. So I feel like they still had much more to, like, work through. And when you have objectives, I feel like your practice is a lot more solid.
Yeah, and I wonder for Coast, I think they have a lot of the player talent required to make it in as a bottom-tier LCS team, but I wonder if they have the shot calling in there because their games are incredibly long. Seems like 5 Dragons is their only realistic win condition in most games. But at the same time, they've had a lot of time to clean that up, and they were 1 game away against Renegades, so anything can happen.
Was just about to say that all of these teams have had plenty of time to prepare for today's matches. So one would think they'd have plenty of strategies worked up. Now, as we zero in on today's matchup, Enemy have made some changes since the end of the regular split, not least of which is bringing on a new coach who is a veteran of the LCS scene.
I've always had a passion for leading teams. I felt like my playing days were behind me, so I wanted to look into coaching. I was a captain for a long time in Copenhagen Wolves, and this felt like a really natural transition for me.
Previously, we had a person who was originally an analyst. We decided to look into getting someone that has shown that they know what they're talking about. We figured he would be a perfect fit.
I was very nervous at first because I'm playing with people that were my equals just a few weeks ago, and now I have to be an authority figure over them. So it's been a great challenge, but they've welcomed me with open arms, so I'm really happy with the transition.
We are very straightforward about how we want to do things now, and so far it's getting a lot better.
I look a lot at other regions and see what they're playing, what kind of team comps they're running, and then I try to relay that information to the team.
The system of how we scrim is not changed, and I think everyone's like improving every day.
The most important thing I do is give them a goal and purpose for their training. Enemy is really a family to me. They are really friendly and they're also really hardworking, and they are very respectful towards me and vice versa, so I'm really happy to work with them.
plenty of experience there, plus the added benefit of having come from another region. We've seen that be successful in other areas as well.
It's interesting. I mean, Young Buck, say what you want about him as a player, but he's always been a leader on Copenhagen Wolves, and pretty much everyone who I've heard has played with Young Buck say he has a good, strong personality. So as far as just general coaching aptitude, maybe he's a little bit young, maybe he's a little bit inexperienced. I think he has the baseline down as far as familiarity goes.
Yeah, and from the words we heard in that video, he definitely has the motivation. Well, now to preview our first, let's hope. Well, now to preview our first showdown, we're going to pass it off to our casters.